Speaking of Bron, so Kenny Smith had he talked about. Should I play the clip? I don't even know. I don't know, bro. No, we don't need to play the clip. It's okay. Kenny Smith talked about how Bron and Kobe are not in his top 5.
Ooh.
That's what he said. He said Bron and Kobe is not in his top 5, and his reasoning for that was that he averaged, in his best year, he averaged 17 points per game, 17, 18 points per game.
Kenny
Smith
okay.
averaged 17, 18
with
points
his
per game
knees.
in his best year. In his best year, and he was saying the fact that I did that in a tougher era, it's more easier to score now. So it kind of skews how he values
not with those moves.
Averaging 27, averaging 28, whatever. So that's part of his reasoning why.
Not with those.
And it's a thing though. It's a thing though. The older heads normally it's like they give scrutiny on the up and coming eras ahead of them. But for me, it's like Kobe played in basically both eras. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
and not only that, Jordan is him.
I'm shocked.
And he's in an old era. Like,
and
doing work. And Kobe has more advanced moves on bigger
about
players.
Kobe not being in that.
See,
Kenny is feeling himself, man.
For Kenny. This is what I'm trying to.
He being on TNT has him disillusioned with who he is, bro.
Listen, like this.
You're not even a sidekick, bro.
This is what cheating. Like him comparing, and I listened to the whole clip, majority of the clip. And a lot of the clip, the fact that he didn't even have his own man Hakeem in the top 5.
Oh, he didn't have Hakeem?
He won rings because of that nigga. And you don't have Hakeem in your top 10? I don't think he had him like. First of all.
What did he have? Do we have the list?
We don't. I don't think he.
He had Bill Russell on it.
He had Bill Russell. We had Shaq.
Kareem
Abdul-Jabbar.
Like it's all
the greats.
Names,
yeah,
right?
Like the greats.
Larry Bird, Magic Johnson.
Baylor too, right? He had Elgin in there. Did he?
No, that was Chuck.
No, he had Oscar Robertson.
Yeah, Oscar. Yeah, he had
come on, yo.
Yeah, mans that didn't even win rings.
Oscar.
But what the thing is, the main argument before we talk about the top 5, the main argument that I want to talk about is about it's easier to score now. You know what I'm saying? So there's multiple factors and there's multiple things. So you saying it's easier to score now? Yes, we get it. That applies to guys like Steph Curry who they're more frail. They're more finesse players. You know what I mean? If they get banged up, it wouldn't matter. But when you have guys like Kobe, guys like KD, guys like that, you know what I'm saying? Obviously it's easier to score now, but they're skilled players. They would score in any era. We've seen Jordan eat in an era. Not only that, I would get more shots because y'all have no moves. Y'all power forwards can't even space the floor. I'm getting more shots. What do you do? What do you do? You guys are
enforcers.
When I get doubled,
they're enforcers.
When Michael Jordan's getting doubled and I pass out to Paxson, it's a mid range. You're not even at 3. You're not even spacing the floor. Like, it's that. What do you mean?
No, like this.
I'm
is
taking
the thing,
more shots.
right?
I'm taking 30 shots.
The thing is,
like what?
You see, this is what
the
this
power
is why
forwards
they
are
say
so
you're right
Dude.
and you're wrong.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? He's right and he's wrong.
He's right in certain.
Do you see what I'm saying? The reason why it's easier to score now is because people aren't putting as much effort in defense as they were before.
And
the rules have changed.
And the rules have changed. There can be more than one. It doesn't have to be either and or.
Yeah.
It can be both
It's
and,
multiple,
right?
Yeah.
But when you look at the scoring averages for the league over time, they've been very consistent. It stayed around the same range of 110 or so points per game through all these different eras, right? But the difference,
not the 90s, not the 90s. It's
the
only
difference,
higher now.
No, go look it up. Go look it up.
Nah, that shit was 90.
The different, but that was with the teams who actually were playing OD defense and now were actually good. But with the scrub teams, it was something different. But anyways, when you consider the fact that back then you had guys that were on the court that could only do one thing, right?
One dimension.
Like I remember watching Reggie Evans, and I know he's not all the way back. But Reggie Evans, he was not even there for defense. All the man could do was rebound. Okay? Like, players like that don't exist anymore. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, the league has evolved in terms of the level of skill that individual players have. Do you see what I'm saying? And on top of that, Kenny, like, who is Kenny? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Kenny, like, you're not even Tim Hardaway. Like, you're Kenny. You see what I'm saying?
The man's highlight, they say he missed in the dunk off.
The reason,
he did a layup in the
do you see what I'm saying? Like, the reason why we're even talking about Kenny would have been a forgotten jot in history if it wasn't for him being on inside the NBA.
And with
you have more clout
now.
for you being on a talk show than for you being an NBA player. Right? And that's just a fact.
Yeah.
You can't say that about Shaq. You can't say that about Chuck. But you can say you are Ernie. Okay? Kenny and Ernie. You see what I'm saying? They're on the right. And the reason why I'm saying this,
man, hit him with
the reason why I'm saying this is because to me, what he's saying is very disrespectful.
Yeah.
It is.
It's very like. First of all, we're not going to talk about the fact that Kobe just passed away, R.I.P.
I know.
But you're going to disrespect the man, bro?
Not in the top 10.
Like, are you? Bro.
That's the biggest black.
Listen, man. This is what I can't stand the most, okay? Not with Kenny's era, but with the eras before that. When you start talking about the Oscar Robertsons, when you start talking about the Bill Russells of the world, these guys weren't even full-time NBA players. Okay, these guys are playing ball with farmers. Okay, these guys are playing ball with guys my height. Okay, Bill Russell is out here doing layups, jumping over people by accident. Okay, so
no three in the key, man. Just hug it.
No,
if I take a shot,
dog,
if you take a shot,
bro.
give me my ball. You could steal my shot and turn it into a layup.
And the 3-point arc was closer.
The real question is,
it was even a 3-point arc then.
The real question is,
once Alonzo Mourning started hitting threes, they pushed that thing
on
back.
top of that, like when Bill Russell, and this is not to disrespect Bill Russell because he's a great and what he accomplished, and you can't necessarily take his era away from him, but come on, bro. There was not 32 teams in the league when Bill Russell was playing, okay?
Like
so not only did you not have as many teams to compare against,
that's true.
You didn't have as skilled individuals to compete against. You have a bunch of just bums. The league wasn't even majority black.
Yeah.
Okay? So the level of competition that you're playing against, and you were a true athlete, which is why you dominated. But take you out and put LeBron in.
Yeah.
Can you imagine you put LeBron playing against a bunch of farmers my height?
Yeah. And that's even an argument. That's also my argument
that's
for
so true,
for Jordan. Even watching the Last Dance, the fact that they put Danny Ainge on Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan's 6'6", Danny Ainge is 6'3". Like he had point guards guarding him. That's why my argument for Kobe having to have 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" guys. LeBron's even guarding him. You know what I'm saying? He has elite, tall athletes guarding him. You know what I'm saying? And then he's doing advanced moves because not only are you bigger and guarding me, you've also seen Jordan's moves been played out. So I have to do that 2.0. I can't just hit you with a same turnaround fade every single time and jump over you.
And he played both eras.
Exactly. He's part of basically both eras. He was part when it changed.
Wild, man.
And he got more rings.
Man.
Yeah. Come on.
And he was 5 rings out of 7.
Come on.
To me, I feel like, honestly, and this might be an unpopular opinion, but I feel like those guys that were playing in the 60s, when the ABA and the NBA first merged and all that, those guys, we put them there for respect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We put your name, we put your name there for respect because at the end of the day,
pioneers.
None of these new guys would be here if it wasn't for you. Right?
Yeah.
But you guys, do you see what I'm saying?
They've been left.
It's not the same thing, bro. It's just a whole, have you ever heard, you saw the movie Aladdin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole new world. Okay? This is a different world, bro.
They gotta separate these top 10. You can't mix both eras. You gotta.
There's certain people who have skill. There's certain people who are advanced for their era. You know what I'm saying? Like Larry Bird, all of that type of stuff. There's people who are advanced for their skill set at a certain time. Like Larry Bird, there's bigger guys that I would like Hakeem. Hakeem, till this day, big men don't even have his moves.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So there's certain guys that I look at that I'm like, you know what? No matter what area you're in, you're elite already. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you did what you did with less spacing and less, you know what I mean? There's advantages and disadvantages for both eras. You know what I'm saying? But people have to understand, you can't a lot of these guys, like Brian Russell, was leaning on just a hezzy every single time. Hezzy, crossover. If you have Kate, he's not guarding KD. He's not guarding Kobe. He's not guarding Steph. You know what I'm saying? Some of these guys that they put that were primetime defenders in those old eras are not doing nothing versus
these new guys. Yeah.
Because people are looking at it as, yes, they're not trying on defense, but yes, it's harder to try when niggas are more skilled. If I have to guard you from half court, You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be tired when I come into half. If I'm guarding from half court, like Steph Curry, I'm guarding from half court. I'm chasing this nigga all over the place. Yes, I'm gonna be tired on certain little things. So you know what I mean? Certain little movements, certain things. Especially, let's say Curry's at half court, KD's in the corner, and then Clay's on the other corner. You're spaced all over the place. And I'm ISO'd on guarding Curry. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be chasing nonstop. I'm going to be more fatigued. So yes, it looks like sometimes he's not trying on defense. He's not doing, no, they're so elite. I have to worry about them all over the place. Yeah. These guys at free throw line, you leave them there. In the old era, they're at free throw line. I don't even guard them.
Like there's literally like these guys were literally, okay, watch.
I can guard 2-on-1.
Watch. The stars back then were Rondo.
Facts.
Look at Rondo.
Even Jason Kidd.
Okay? Guys that, like, they just do one thing. You can't shoot. Okay? Yeah. All you can do, you can only do layups with one hand. Even when you're on the left side, you're out here, you're still using the right. You know what I'm saying? But you're an elite playmaker, but then that's pretty much it. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying?
This era better, but I don't know, man. The post back then.
No, the bigs are weaker. That's another thing.
Like that's a very good point.
It was a big man era back then.
The bigs back then
were elite.
Were just different. But then that's why, like, yo, to me, first of all, Kenny is very disrespectful for not having Kobe and for not having LeBron. Because LeBron is literally the same size as Karl Malone. LeBron is heavier than Karl Malone, taller than Karl Malone. And look at the way that this man moves, bro. Yeah. Does that even make any sense? Yeah. You're telling me you're going to put LeBron in your era and he's not going to destroy you, Kenny? Yeah. Okay? And then Chuck, how dare you not have Shaq in your top 10?
Oh, yeah, he didn't have it.
How dare you? For me, Shaq is top 5.
Yeah,
bro. Listen.
Whoa, so let me hear your 5, Daniel.
Hey.
Oh Lord.
Hey. My top 5. I have.
I want to hear. I want to hear your top 5.
My top 5. Yeah. I have MJ.
Okay.
And this is order for me. MJ.
Okay.
Kobe.
Yep.
KD.
Yep.
Right.
It's tough, man.
That's the thing. Because I'm going by, I really go by position, but.
You gotta pick your top 5.
Yeah, top 5. Dead or alive.
I have Magic.
As 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Magic's there because to me, he's the most elite point guard of all.
Okay.
Magic. Then I have either Shaq or Hakeem is 5. That's me.
You gotta pick Shaq or Hakeem.
Because my top 5.
Gotta pick Shaq or Hakeem.
Yeah, I would put. So, okay, let me explain like this. My top 5, when I look at, there's accolades as part of it, but I also, me, skill set.
Okay.
Skill set. When you're when you have the lowest amount of weaknesses, the minimum amount of weaknesses in your game, that's what I rate over. Obviously, Shaq was hella dominant, but I've seen him get stopped in certain situations when his dominance factor was removed. Okay. Which is why Kobe had to be so elite in certain rounds, like when he had David Robinson, Tim Duncan guarding him. Those guys, you get what I'm saying? Hakeem was elite, no weakness. Only thing he didn't shoot was threes. You get what I'm saying? But he didn't need to.
Okay.
His moves was, you know what I mean? So I would put Hakeem over Shaq, but I'm not, those two are interchangeable. For me, LeBron is the second PG outside of Magic. The reason why I have Magic higher is because Magic in the assist category, to me, I look at LeBron as not a main scorer. I look at him as a PG. He's the Magic build. He's the Magic build.
Okay.
So where's LeBron on your list?
He didn't put him in his top 5.
LeBron will be 6 outside of the Magic. That's what he would be for me.
All right, Daniel, what's your top 5?
You are so disrespectful.
Tell me why. How am I
So, Leke, you're not a LeBron hater.
I'm not a LeBron hater. I rate mans accordingly. I told you that.
Watch this question. Tell the truth.
I'm telling the truth.
Have you ever played with a LeBron team on 2K in your entire life?
Yes, I have, nigga. In the early 2Ks. No one knows. I used to root for LeBron all the time especially when it was before he left Cleveland. I used to root for LeBron.
Okay, so after he left Cleveland the first time,
I lost respect when he left.
Have you ever played with him since then?
Hell no. Hell no.
You know how many 2Ks have come out?
Yes. Why would I play
and all you do is play 2K.
When every man picks LeBron and just runs in the paint. I go against the grain. I'm not doing that shit. What am I doing? I'm going to do step backs with LeBron? In 2K when I be doing advanced moves?
Oh,
nice save. Nice save.
All right, Daniel. What's your top?
Oh, please.
Nice
LeBron before in first Cleveland had the most elite skill set. If he stayed like that, he would be in my top 5 easily.
Let me tell you something.
All right.
Hold on. So before you go, also too, again, with these guys, like I said, it's not just stats. It's not just individuals, a plethora of things. Also, is when you can't be 3-6 in the finals and you're in my top 5 when everyone else has a positive percentage. Magic went to the same 9 finals and he has 5.
I hear you. Now,
and they're the same build. Who am I going to choose? Magic or Thing? And he's one of the most elite. He's been averaging for his whole career like 12, 13 assists.
This is tough.
And 19 points.
When you talk about top 5.
When there was no space and the elite, he's starting the showtime like, nah, I can't disrespect Magic like that.
When you talk about top 5.
And when it mattered, he hooked game winner. You're still going to find a way to get above.
All right.
You know what I mean? When you talk about top 5, I feel like actually the guys that are like, Kenny and Shaq and Chuck, they're actually in a better place to talk about top 5s than we are.
Yeah.
Because they watched all the games and they seen all these guys actually play. Whereas we just have to go off of clout and off of highlights and NBA hardwood classics. You see what I'm saying? So I can speak on who I'm privy to with one exception.
All right.
Okay? First of all, my number 1 is Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Mm-hmm. The real 2-3. Okay? Michael Jordan still sells more sneakers than every other active player today.
To this day.
Okay? Michael Jordan is so iconic. He should have been the only player to have his number retired from the entire NBA.
Facts.
But just to show you how much clout Michael Jordan has, till this day, anybody who wears 2-3, we don't think about you. When we see 2-3, we immediately think about MJ.
Yeah. Facts.
Yep.
Okay? So all these years that LeBron has 2-3 on his jersey, he actually does a disservice to himself. Yep. Because until this day, when you see 2-3, you still think about Michael Jordan. Okay, any other choice is disrespectful. Period. Mm-hmm. Number 1 has to be MJ. Number 2 is LeBron.
Oh, so you put 2.
Number 2 is LeBron because when I'm looking at longevity, and I'm looking at
of losing
how. Yes,
your longevity. That's
yes. No, let me speak.
No, just say that.
Give him a chance.
Let me
longevity. It needs to be part of, a sentence.
No, I get you. I completely hear what you're saying.
Okay.
I completely hear what you're saying.
What's your reason for LeBron there?
But LeBron, when I look at the level of sustained greatness, I can't disrespect that or look away from that. The fact that he's at year 17 and he's still even arguable to
So you're putting him before Kobe.
I am, yeah.
Lost his mind.
I am, yeah.
And he's entitled to that.
I am.
Drug
yes,
testing.
and I'm entitled to say that's disrespectful.
I personally am.
Okay.
Why?
I personally am.
Tell me why.
I feel a friendship's gonna be torn here.
This is new news to me. Tell me why.
I really thought about this.
Okay.
And listen,
Okay.
for the most part, it's only even recently that I've even kind of given LeBron a bit of a nudge. Cause obviously,
what?
Because I don't even know what Abe just said.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try to. He threw me up.
Yeah.
But after spending all these years, bro, of just listening to people give points about LeBron, you see what I'm saying? It's caused me to have to try to reevaluate myself. Okay. Right? I'm not a LeBron fan. I don't enjoy watching LeBron play. Okay. I'm not somebody who tunes into every LeBron game, right? The way that he gets buckets, I don't like it. Okay? There's guys, I like guys that have that spice, man, that have that, you know what I mean? That's always been me. So I've never been a LeBron fan, never will be a LeBron fan. But at the end of the day, making it to 8 consecutive finals, albeit losing, which is why I don't know where it cut out, but wherever it cut out, everything that I was saying was so IQ, and it was so beautiful.
Sum up the point.
Do you see what I'm saying?
You said longevity. You said what's it called? Basically that he went to 3. He went to the final 8 consecutive, 8 straight years.
Yeah.
Which I have. Can I rebuttal while you're making?
No.
Let him finish his list.
My difference between LeBron and Kobe is this, every single finals that LeBron has been in, he's always been the favorite for the MVP.
That's a lie.
And
That's cap.
And every team that he was in, especially when his teams have won the finals, he was MVP every time. Whereas Kobe, when Kobe was in the finals, he was not MVP. Okay, bruh. He has two finals championships where he's not MVP. So LeBron is number 2. LeBron is number 2.
Bring the record though.
LeBron is number 2.
If it's 2,
LeBron is number 2.
All right.
Shaq is number 3. And Shaq used to be number 2 for me because I've never seen a fourth like Shaquille O'Neal on the basketball court, period. I've never even seen somebody who's come to be in Shaq's shadow after him, period. Okay? Shaq, definitely number 2. Kobe is number 4 because Kobe is Kobe. You see what I'm saying? Even now, little children are taking shots on their driveways and they're saying, Kobe, okay?
Why aren't they saying LeBron?
Kobe is an icon. Kobe is an icon. And last but not least, I have Kareem as my number 5. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who is known for having, thank you, because I deserve that.
That was for you.
That is for me. That is for me. Sorry, go ahead. Kareem is known for having the most unstoppable move in basketball history. Kareem is the leader, is still the points leader in the NBA today. Okay? I feel like so often, like Kareem is left out of these conversations. And Kareem, to me, if somebody says that Kareem is their number 1, I can't even hate on you for saying Kareem is number 1.
He's in my top 10.
And he was a big time activist too.
For me, I have Kareem as my number 5. And that's, I have to say that's off of clout because obviously I've never watched Kareem the same amount that I watched Shaq or Kobe or LeBron. And even then, that whole order between those middle 3, they can be interchanged, right? If you ask me tomorrow, I might have Kobe above LeBron and Shaq.
No,
you see what I'm saying?
Say it with your chest. Do not.
This is how I'm feeling today, man. This is how I'm feeling
Backtrack. This man's out here tap dancing. We don't want to hear that.
We're definitely addressing this Kobe LeBron thing.
But here we go. My top 5.
Go ahead with yours.
Michael Jordan is number 1.
Okay.
Number 2 for me is Kareem. Kareem is number 2.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Number 3 for me is Kobe.
Okay.
Number 4 for me.
You never even liked Kobe.
I know. No. We are not starting this narrative. On the national airwaves. We're not starting this narrative.
Kobe.
No. When Kobe was the 8, he was my favorite player. Everyone knows that. In my household, I had Kobe jerseys. I had everything Kobe. I even had the Air Force Ones with the Kobe colors. Okay? Do you know how hard it is to get Air Force Ones in yellow and purple?
Yeah.
I had everything. I even had his Adidas doodle ass shoe, all that foam posit foolishness that he had. That shoe that wouldn't even bend. That you just out there like you're on Mars. I had those shoes, okay? And then when the word was coming out that he was pillow talking, and then he had, his thing go around in Denver and all that,
So his personal drama,
his personal life
affected
me.
Noah.
But Noah watches Real Housewives of everything, NBA Housewives.
I watch reality TV.
He doesn't separate the two.
All this man loves is watching these female TV shows.
If I was in the locker room with you, that is treason. You cannot snitch on the teammates. You cannot D'Angelo Russell me. I don't care.
So that's number 3,
so
right?
Who's 4?
Yes. So that number 3 is, who did I say? Number 3 was Kobe.
Was Kobe, yeah.
Was Kobe. Number 4 is Magic for me. Mm-hmm. And number 5 for me is Shaq. That's mine.
All right. So you and Lake A's list is
LeBron for me is like 8.
It's respectable.
I'll still take Larry Bird over LeBron James.
I can't put Magic I can't put Magic or Larry Bird, not out of disrespect to them, but I've literally I've never watched them play at all. So me even speaking on that would just be blasphemous coming out of my mouth. So I don't know where they would where they would go.
So your top 5 is based on players you have watched.
No,
Yes.
he doesn't watch Kareem.
But that's why I said that's one exception. I already said that.
Yeah, he said that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dog, I see
I don't
you.
rate
What
your-
are you seeing?
I don't rate your top 5.
If you went into his
I
head,
don't rate
there would
your
be a
top
room
5
there
at
that
all.
would say Daniel,
I don't rate
okay?
your top
And we'll
5
have a
at all.
sleeping bag.
Never that.
I am
Never
in
that.
your head. I already
Never
know.
that. Never that.
I already
Never
know what
that.
he's going to say
You already
before
got real
he
estate?
knows.
You already got
And he's
real
going
estate?
to
Daniel
say it, bro.
Gibson, nice and LeBron.
I'm
That's
a-
what it was.
I'm living
That's what it
Are
was.
you
rent
dumb,
free.
bro?
But yes, for me, just the reason why, just some
Mando.
points of reason why I left LeBron out of my top 5.
Okay.
Just some points. You can't say you're that, and yes, and to give background, I was the biggest LeBron James
You were.
fan.
I remember.
I was.
Oh
Yo,
my
me and
God.
him fighting all day,
Yeah.
every day.
And I showed him the
Biggest
lights.
He was.
I
LeBron
showed him the
James
light.
fan.
That's a fact.
Everyone knows the
fact.
biggest LeBron
When
James
was your
fan.
last day? When was your
That's
last
a-
day?
My last day was when he played against the Dallas Mavericks. That was my last day. I
No,
could
no,
not.
it was the Spurs. Remember?
No, it was after
No,
that.
no, no, no.
No,
Alice,
No, it was
no,
after
no,
that. It was after that. It wasn't the
Dallas?
Mavericks.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Mavericks.
No, no, no. I was still rooting for the man, but after the Dallas Mavericks series,
Oh, that's when you started to break in your heart.
I was
Yeah.
the way
So
I
you
was
didn't show it?
yes, I had to hold it
You
back.
didn't show it till he
I
left.
rooted
He
for
went
it
back
for
to
so
Cleveland.
long.
I know
but
these
the-
guys.
But my heart, the way I was just, it was hurting
no
me.
captain in
Wesley
the
Matthews was just there wearing t-shirts, dissing him. The Jet was scoring more points than you in the
But you
finals.
see,
He was
this is
dropping
why
8 points.
this is
Yo,
why I
my
can't be with
chest,
Noah
my-
with his list, man. I can't
Why?
be with you talking
can't
about
you?
LeBron, bro. Because
not?
back when Noah was a LeBron fan,
Mhm.
Noah was even putting LeBron ahead of Jordan, if I remember correctly.
Yes, his trajectory was going that way.
So,
But
His
so
trajectory was
how
going
can
that
you, before the man even finished creating his resume,
Because you're assuming.
how can you
Nah,
say
you're
that a
capping.
man is the
You're
greatest
capping.
of all time, number 1, back in the day,
Yeah,
and
but
all of a
why
sudden
not?
now you're saying that the man is not even top 6?
Because
Because
later
his
he just
trajectory,
lost,
his
lost,
trajectory.
lost.
His trajectory. For me, that time when he was going against the Pistons and he scored whatever. What was that?
Yeah.
49 or 49,
Like, yo,
yeah.
when he was just killing teams. And I'm
I
just
did a video
looking
on
the
that, go
fear
watch.
in those teams' eyes.
You said he
And
was
I'm
the
just-
greatest, man.
No,
and on
he
top of that,
was.
like, you're so capped.
His
What happened to
trajectory
Steve
was going that
Nash,
way.
bro?
No,
Steve Nash is not on that.
Steve Nash is
Bro,
not on that
do you
echelon.
remember this
But
guy?
Steve, listen,
Favorite and
listen.
high echelon.
Steve Nash is
No,
still
man,
my
the way that
favorite
this
guy
man
to
used
watch.
be talking about
No,
Steve
no,
Nash,
no,
favorite-
Steve Nash-
Favorite and then best is different.
Don't
This is two
disrespect.
different
Don't
things.
disrespect Steve Nash. First and foremost, that is not happening here. Steve Nash was elite.
Bro,
Continue.
that's
No,
why,
no,
like,
Steve Nash
he
was
said that
elite.
Steve Nash deserved to have those MVPs over Kobe. That's why I'm saying he's a capper, bro. He is Colin Kaepernick. He is a Nick Capper, okay?
No.
He is the biggest
not.
cap of all caps, bro. He is this. He is a cap. A whole cap, bro. You told me
Don't leave me.
that Steve Nash deserved the MVP over Kobe, and now you're talking.
That's a different
No, I
argument.
can't be with
That's a
him,
different
bro.
argument.
No, because
It's a
you got to
different
remember this.
He did not
Even
deserve
though
those,
when Steve Nash was up there having a
he deserved those because
60-win seasons, and he was killing it.
Went back
You got to understand
No,
this.
he
In
didn't
the
deserve it.
playoffs,
Wasn't
they
that-
were
wasn't
still
that-
Wasn't that during the
underperforming.
time that
No, they
Kobe
were
was
still
having like all those
underperforming in the
40-point
playoffs.
games? All those 40-point, 50-point games?
doing
The
what?
man was just
But their
abusing
team
the
was
whole
17,
league, bro.
though.
And
Their team was
scraping for
17.
W's. It doesn't matter.
It's about, he's talking about the team.
The team, he was still winning.
Yeah,
You
they
got to
were
still
winning.
understand. Even though when Steve Nash was putting up his MVP
I
stats,
don't agree
what else
with
was
it, but-
happening on his team? Mans were getting 6 men. Mans were getting most improved. Don't forget, Boris Diaw was paid because of Steve Nash.
Facts.
Raja Bell paid because of Steve Nash. Amari Stoudemire
So
paid
what?
because of Steve Nash.
A lot of people were paid because of Kobe.
ISO Joe got his 100 mil because of Steve Nash. Do
Facts.
not ever disrespect Steve
Facts,
Nash
facts.
in your life.
Shut
What's that man?
What
The
you out here?
Blur.
You're being his cheerleader in the background. It's that.
Barbosa paid.
Steve Nash, that team was
Yo,
elite.
that man
Every
got
man was
so
eating on that team.
many men
I don't
paid.
agree that
Sean
you
Marion.
should
Tim Thomas, he kept that man's
I don't
career
agree
survive.
at all.
Stop it.
Anyways, that's
You're
besides
you're
the
being
point.
disrespectful.
Go with your
man.
LeBron points. You're a LeBron fan.
And then we'll move on. Yeah.
Then we'll
Yes.
move on. Go ahead.
So
with your
the
LeBron
way
points.
how this man just
You left him to
just
the-
underperformed against Dallas just was
Maybe I
inexcusable.
should put him lower.
You could not have, you
at
could
you,
have
look at you.
not have been on the court and only score under 10 points.
He had 2 straight 0.4 quarters.
Really
You
bad.
cannot. It was.
He scored 8
Yo,
points in a
I'm
game.
sitting there watching
Jason
this
Terry
man.
cooked him.
I'm watching this man. I'm saying, do something.
Yeah.
I was looking at the TV. Do something. All my boys were around. We're
He
watching
literally
this.
was ghost.
We're watching this. I'm looking at this guy. Yo, why you have your hands on your pants and you're just there at the corner 3 just doing nothing. Man's pass you the ball, you pass it back.
Yeah.
What the hell was going on?
He was in his head.
That was inexcusable. It was cheesing me.
He was
Like,
nervous. That's what I'm saying.
and then not only that, the way how they lost game 2.
Yeah.
The way they lost game 2 when they were up.
Yeah.
And then this,
Yeah, his fourth quarter execution. Don't
it
cut
was
it for
so
me.
bad.
I
I can't be there and say you're the best player when you are leading the ship
Yeah.
and I'm hopping on it and we're sinking. That is not life. That is not
that
life.
series, if he won,
That is not
if
life.
they won that series, Wade was going to be.
Wade would have been.
Yeah,
finals
he would've.
No,
MVP.
you guys have a point.
So-
You guys have a point.
No,
I agree with you guys. I agree with you guys. You guys are making me.
Well, why?
Wow.
No, explain. Just explain.
I already did explain.
And
He
you
did
gotta
explain.
understand.
Okay, so let me
Like,
rebuttal.
you're-
I'm bringing up Steve Nash.
First of all,
No,
no,
bring up
wait,
Steve
wait,
Nash.
get
No,
your
no,
hands off me. Don't touch
no,
me.
no, just to bring up Steve Nash. Steve Nash was my guy. I wanted him to win championships. But when he went against Kobe Bryant,
Exactly.
even though I
It's a
didn't like
different
Kobe
breed.
Bryant, the fear in my
pushed
chest.
him to 7 games.
did you hear what he
fear
said?
in my chest.
This is exactly what I said. Was it not?
What?
That he never used to like Kobe.
No, I
saying
said
that?
And
I
here he
I
says,
said I didn't like him
You said
afterwards.
because
When he went,
after that,
once he
yeah.
went to the 2-4, I didn't like it.
Because of the whole Denver thing.
I didn't like it. I didn't
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
it.
you did say that.
I
I have
like him
amnesia.
after that.
I have amnesia.
Take it in.
We were
Take it
fighting
in.
in the
Kobe,
household.
as the 7th seed, was facing his team as a 2 seed, and he's like, "That's a sweep. It's done."
Yo,
and I'm in 7
that's,
games.
and that's
Seven
why
games.
Kobe should have been the MVP.
No,
but they still lost.
no, you still got
Yeah, the best player.
You can't knock out the other 82
But regardless,
games.
the fact that he put Fair in his team, he pushed him to 7 games with nobody, with Smush Parker and Bear Bombs on his team.
Bomb.
And Braun has the most elite
Elite.
members with him, and they still call him Bombs.
It's true. It's
You
true.
And
think
then-
Kobe would have been there, even with Kyrie and Love injured, and I'm up 2-1, and I'm gonna have 20 points. What did you shoot? Like 9 for 30 or whatever?
And my
And when I'm home and lose the game because they started Iguodala?
problem with LeBron is players have to change their own way of
Everyone.
Playing?
To play with you. Exactly.
and it's like if you're that great,
Yeah.
you need to
Yeah,
But
like
that's
it makes
because
no sense to me
LeBron
that
can't play off ball, right?
no, you can't say you're the best player.
Yeah.
He's
Number
the best passer, but no one has ever won 6-man or most improved with you.
This is what I'm.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But with Kobe, men's have won those.
Yeah.
Men's have won 6-man.
Mans have eaten. With
So
their
that
best
means
with
Yeah.
so that means that what?
Close
That means
to
that
their
you're
best.
just a ball hog. That's all it shows me.
No, I hear you.
My
Well,
biggest.
if I bumped him down, I wouldn't bump him out of my top 5.
He's out
I
of
would
my
just,
top
I
five.
could say that arguably you could put Shaq or Kobe in
because
front of.
because
As a matter of fact, you could put Shaq, Kobe, or Kareem above
my
him.
question
and
my
I-
question is
and I respect that.
what has LeBron done that's been way better than what Magic has done?
I don't know, because I don't know Magic like that. I already said, I already took myself out of talking about
Yeah.
Magic.
No, 'cause-
and
I'm
out of
saying
Larry.
just me for
Because
me. it's LeBron
Everyone says he's a prototype.
and
to it.
Kobe, LeBron and Kobe argument. For instance, perfect example, MJ. MJ, when he had the offense just for him, remember we seen in the documentary,
Yeah.
he was eating, right? And then he switched. They switched and put him in a triangle where they're like, yo, we can't play like this. You need to be in a system. And he still actually averaged 1 point higher in that system. And Scotty averages best with Kobe. I mean, with MJ. You know what I'm saying? And then when MJ was gone, Scotty was still right at his career high that he had with MJ, which shows you've eaten at your most with MJ. Even though MJ is getting the ball a lot, but he's still sacrificing. He still let you play make. Because remember, MJ was getting almost 9 assists when he was playing with the old system, or what's his name, with Doug Collins, because he was everything. We seen in the documentary. But they said, you know what? You need to play out the post, go off ball, do actions. Let Scotty be the play initiator so Scotty could eat.
Yeah.
Kobe has done it. He's let Lamar Odom, power forward, come off the bench and ball handle. You know what I'm saying? Paul Gasol eat. Let all these men eat.
Vukovic.
But that's the whole point,
no,
though.
not
That's the
Vukovic,
whole point. Like,
Vucic.
I think
Vucic,
what people don't
Sasha.
understand when they're looking at LeBron, and it's the same thing
He
with
needs the most to
it's the
win.
same
That's
thing
him.
with
That's
James
LeBron.
Harden. It's the same thing with Russell Westbrook. Okay,
Nah.
and just wait. What I'm talking about specifically, Lake is gonna understand what I'm saying because his mind is more evolved than yours.
Oh, shit.
The thing that people don't take in when they're talking about LeBron is LeBron, is he great? Yes, he is, right? But he has a huge deficiency in his game, which is that he cannot play off ball. Once you take the ball out of his hands, he cannot help your team on offense, right? MJ, he could play off ball. Kobe, he could play off ball. KD, he could play off ball. Steph, he could play off ball. Kawhi, he could play off ball. So these guys who can play off ball, that means that you can have the ball in your hands and they're still affecting the offense without needing the ball in their hands, right? When you see LeBron have these ridiculous usage rates, it's because he has to have the ball in his hands for him to be effective or for his team to be effective, which actually hinders the rest of the team, right?
That's why you can't have elite coaches, because a good coach wants his system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's exactly it. Like if you can't do the LeBron system, he doesn't want to learn how to play up. Like at this point, you would have had enough time to learn how to like run off of a two screens. You see what I'm saying? Like two different ways to come off of the screen. Do you see what I'm saying? Like also,
and for you would have audience that y'all think that he doesn't do it. It doesn't mean he doesn't do it at all. It just he doesn't do it often. He can't do it often. He can't.
It's not bread and butter.
Staple. It's not bread and butter. He's not gonna do it. Most of he has to have the ball in his hand. That's why I say, well, LeBron, I can't. Again, you need the most to win, and even with that, you still have more losses than any of those guys who have less than you. Like MJ only had Pippen scoring wise. Everybody else, you're not doing that. You're in one-dimensional. LeBron has elite players and put them in a one-dimensional role, which is why they get cheese, which is why they eat when they're not with him. Look, I'm just going to go the last couple of years. Jay Crowder, we seen him do better when he was at the Jazz. Remember, he was on Cleveland. And remember, he was doing good in Boston.
You can do that all day, bro.
He was doing on Boston. Jay Crowder did better without him. George Hill did better without him. You get what I'm saying?
Everybody.
Chris Bosh, Kyrie, Kevin Love,
the whole
J.R.
Los
Smith,
Angeles team, bro.
Jordan Clarkson, Rodney Hood. The list goes on.
Lonzo
a plethora
Ball.
of men. Brandon Ingram. How many guys have had their careers without you? Like
no, because LeBron, the way that he plays is, and it's not to say that this is not good.
Kuzma.
It's not ideal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because you can still win with it, obviously, because he still won with it. But the way that LeBron plays is, I'm gonna carry the load, and then on 1-2 time when I'm tired, I need somebody else who can also carry. Okay? But then,
meanwhile, they haven't prepared
everybody else, you are bystanders. Okay?
Spot up.
You guys are just there to shoot the ball, which is why LeBron cannot play with two post players.
Never.
Right? He always has to have a stretch four. But to me, that doesn't mean that you're not great. It's just a huge weakness that means that you can't optimize your team will never be optimized.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why his greatness is smoke and mirrors, because they just protect his weaknesses. He always has teams that protect his weaknesses. So it's never glaring. It's never for him to work on it, because it's just, I'm just going to play to my strengths and call it a day.
You can't win without this way.
Without that, though.
There is a lot wrong with you. Bro, you can't be 6'8" calling for pick and rolls. That is disrespectful for any man who says they're elite. It makes no sense to me. How you're there up top of the key and you're saying, come set a screen for me, Kyrie, so I could get Steph Curry on me. Makes no sense.
And even when
none of that makes sense to me. Why do you need screens to get the weakest man always on you? Makes zero sense.
It's just
I want to see Lou Will on me. I want Lou Will on me. Come set a screen so I get Lou Will. That is foolishness. No, if you have the ball, you are walking mismatch once we pass half court. The other team has to come. I'm going to be looking at the guy in front of me and saying, this guy's nothing. I'm looking at help defense. Because I already know this guy's, I'm going to blow by him. Yeah. Let me just look at where help's going to come. Not LeBron. LeBron is saying, set a screen for me so that I can get Lou.
No, but you're talking about mentality, though. Like, you're talking about
That's part of it. Just think about it.
For me, a part of it, too, is...
No, just think about you being a point guard. You being a point guard. You're paid to be a point guard. But now you're setting screens for LeBron. How would you feel? No, honestly.
It's facts.
Honestly, I'm George Hill. I'm setting screens all day. Like, what is going on?
If LeBron is just coming, if he's doing that as part of the play, whatever, but the fact that you're setting the screen to just have this and then you ISO, That's atrocious, especially being for someone that's supposed to be in this magnitude of MJ, Kobe, these guys. These guys are guys you have to switch defenders to guard them one-on-one. And when you switch on him, he lets you know you can't guard me still.
Exactly. Well, the difference is, right?
Island.
Like,
come on.
And this is why, like, I hear what you guys are saying. I agree with everything that you're saying, right? Especially when you're talking about that last point, right? When you have a Shaquille O'Neal, right? It doesn't matter who you rotate. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you rotate. He is going to get abused.
One LeBron point that I was going to say before we have to start wrapping it up was that the situation is LeBron, he actually can play with one-dimensional Kyle Korvers and a bunch of spot-up guys. But the problem is he wants to have his cake and eat it too. Yeah. If he plays with one-dimensional players, he would be in the same situation as Kobe and MJ, where you have to carry the load. They double you. Now all they do is hit spot up. They don't have to create. But LeBron wants to have guys who can spot up and can create when I can't do whatever I'm trying to do. Because he's not a great one-on-one player when it comes to, when you put an elite defender on him, what am I going to do mano-a-mano? That's why he doesn't have a go-to movie. He has the little WD-40 back W that he does. You know what I'm saying?
Look down three.
That's why he has never won a ring without a Dwayne Wade caliber player or a Kyrie caliber player, where those guys are in a box where all you do is get a bucket and you close for me.
My biggest thing though, Leke,
too much.
When I'm considering, if we're talking about the best players ever, my list would be different. Even though MJ would still be on top of my list.
Talking about greatest.
We're talking about greatest. So a part of greatest comes with box office, right? And it comes with impact globally of the name.
Because they're greatest.
Of course you can.
Oscar Robertson was averaging triple-doubles.
But who was Oscar Robertson? You're talking about when the league had only 16 teams or some foolishness like that, and it wasn't overseas. So you can't even talk about greatest when you bring up those guys.
By that logic, that you wouldn't look at when you look at Renaissance paint, you're gonna go and be like, okay, this guy's doo-doo.
No, because guess what? Those Renaissance paintings, when you talk about the Mona Lisa, all I have to say is Mona Lisa. And everybody in the world knows what painting I'm talking about. So even that example, it doesn't work because that still is globally, it's most renowned. It's most notorious. So when you but that's talking about something completely different. Again, we're talking about the difference between best and greatest. When you're talking about being box office, when you're talking about being popular, when you're talking about being most known, most celebrated, most spoken about, we're not just talking about accolades. We're talking about popularity. How are you received in the public eye? All right. When you talk about somebody like KRS-One, you cannot compare KRS-One to Drake. The way that Drake is popular, KRS-One wishes that he could have 1 month. That was like and that's the reason why I had LeBron very high too, because I can't deny his popularity. Right? I can't deny.
But my question is it warranted?
But even for me, the bandwagon that I've seen with LeBron has been much larger than the bandwagon that I've seen from Kobe. Maybe the only person I can argue with him, obviously Jordan is above him, and Shaq is very arguable with him too, because Shaq is extremely popular till this day.
But that tells you what Kobe played in the time frame where there's a lot of popular guys, the AIs of the world. And even though AI's flame wasn't longer, but when it was hot, it was the hottest.
Yeah, but you can only compare people with their contemporaries.
Vince Carter was in that era. Vince Carter was hot.
Vince was very popular too.
T-Mac was hot. Ray Allen was hot enough to be in the movie.
Yeah.
As Jesus. I'm not going to say.
And Kobe was younger
those
than all these guys.
That's what I'm saying.
But AI, as much as AI was popular, AI was never LeBron popular.
What?
No, we're saying
Vince was never LeBron popular.
At that time, they were,
No, because LeBron...
They were leading vote getters.
Globally.
Leading vote getters.
Social media, you gotta add the factor to that.
Yeah, they were leading vote getters,
I'm just saying that
Remember, AI changed the whole culture. They literally changed the dress code because of AI.
For sure. No, for sure. I'm talking about popularity.
That's part
You're
of
talking about a different aspect of impact. The way that AI had impact on the upcoming. Yes, he was popular. I'm not saying that he wasn't. Just because I'm saying that one person was more popular doesn't mean that I'm not saying that the man was popular.
Because you're not understanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, for that time, Iverson's popularity was equivalent to LeBron's popularity in this time, is what I'm saying. LeBron's popularity is enhanced by social media. If you erase some of his social media, he would have the same type of popularity in his era that's equivalent to AI in his era.
Okay, so don't
People
erase
braided their hair.
So don't erase the social media. Why would you erase the social media?
Because he didn't have that factor.
But let me tell you this. Let me tell you this.
I'm equating it.
But here's my question for you.
If AI had that social media, it will be equivalent to this global. Because
right, but you're saying if.
But I have a question
remove the if.
I'm saying for that time. That's what I'm saying. For that time, the way we view LeBron, how he's globally popular, is how AI was for that time. You have white people like Porzingis braiding his hair. He has throwback pictures of him braiding his hair because of AI.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
The man was there with rappers.
He infiltrated the rap culture, infiltrated all the cultures. AI was,
sure.
you already know, street ball culture, every culture.
It went back
That's
from
a fact.
The simple fact
He was
alone,
more popular than Kobe at that time.
the simple fact alone with
prime.
this, the simple fact alone with this, when AI was playing to what AI was before and AI was afterwards, Reebok has never had that type of stardom since.
Yeah. Never.
That should let you know the man propelled that company single-handedly. Single-handedly. They had the number one shoe, the questions. Every man wanted the questions, the answers. Everyone wanted that. Beer colorways. Since then, there's been nothing. There's no shoes.
Because of his street ball skills.
Yeah.
Everything, man. It was okay.
No,
it was okay to have tattoos,
but at the same time, AI didn't maintain that for the amount of time that LeBron has maintained.
I never said to
and
maintain.
that's
I just said when the flame,
and that's why the first thing that I mentioned about MJ is I talked about the shoes and about the fact that his shoes still outsell all current players. When you talk about maintain greatness, how long does your name actually last compared to when?
But the questions are still selling. The questions are still selling to today. Questions are still selling. The phone posits are still selling. And you know who had the phone posits? The phone posits were Penny Hardaway. Those are still selling. Phone posits sell like crazy. Like these are shoes that are still around from these guys from back in the day who had sneaker deals compared to these guys now.
Like that.
No, they are. Phone posits are around. Bro, come on. Daniel, you're not a sneakerhead.
That, but it's
not
like
that.
It is around, but it's not on that.
Obviously,
echelon.
it's not MJ. No one is going to be MJ.
It's not on that echelon.
But I'm saying for still longevity, Penny Hardaway hasn't been in the league, and phone posits are still selling every year.
So phone posits are Penny's actual
yes,
shoes?
That is Penny's shoe.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
You didn't? What?
Damn, that's crazy.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Anyways,
don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. That's splat.
That's splat.
You ready to know? We're rounding up.
I think
we're rounding up. You already know. So you already know, like we always say, you already know it's true talks. I don't even need to say it. Come on now.
It's true talk. It's true. It's true. It's true. It's true talks. 'Cause true talks.